analyzing data. So we have mean, which is the average. Median is the middle. If for some reason there's two numbers in the middle, those two numbers you take the average of. Mode is most often. When we have a frequency table like this is saying this is how many job offers, this is how often it occurred. So if I wanted to, I could write this out into a list, which some people like to do. You do not have to do it, but sometimes it's more visually appealing. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 4s. I can do this on my calculator. If you push the stat button, so stats right here, edit. If there's something in here at now, you can highlight the L1, push clear, arrow down. Now I'm going to put those numbers in. So I push the number and then I push enter. In case if you're not sure, push the number and then push enter. I have 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3s, and 2 4s. Once you have all that data in your list, you can go back to stat, arrow to calculate. We want one variable statistics. You push enter. You have to keep on pushing enter until it actually calculates. Going over what these things represent, this right here is the mean. This right here means the sum. That symbol means the sum of all the numbers. This is if you were going to take the square of each number and then add it together. These two mean standard deviation, which we'll get into next lesson. This is how many terms you actually have. So there's 15 numbers here. That's what that's saying. This is saying my minimum. I can arrow down. This is quartile 1. This is my median. This is quartile 3. And this is my maximum. So it asks for the mean. So my mean here would be 2.2. So you should maybe write down what each one of these things that I verbally just told you are so that you have a reference. And then I can go down. My median here would be 2. And then this is nice for your mode, most often. This one happens the most often, so my mode would be 3. I want you to try to do this one by yourself. So you have them in your L1. Remember, this one happened once, this one happened 5 times, this happened 7, 4, once, and twice. Go to stat, calculate, one variable statistics. So that first number up top, the x of the line is your mean. You won't be able to just write the x of the line. You'll actually have to say 5, or the mean will have 5.32. My median is the med. Median would be 5. In mode, my most often here is this, happened the most. So 5 would be my most often. When I'm talking about an outlier, before I actually get into the outlier, I'm going to go here and look at interquartile range. My IQR. IQR is when you take Q3, subtract Q1. My range right here, that's going to be, I'm going to put down here, my maximum minus my minimum. I need my IQR in order to figure out what my outlier is. So if I put that in my calculator, those points, and I calculate my Q1 is 59. Actually, I'm going to write down all these 5 data points. So my min is 56. Q1 is 59. My median is 65. Q3 is 73. My max is 98. First thing you want to do is figure out what your IQR is. So my IQR is going to be my Q3 minus my Q1. So 73 minus 59, which would be 14. Now I'm going to take my Q1 and subtract my IQR. So in this case, it would be 59 minus 14, which would give me 44. I'm going to take my Q3 and add 14 to it. So this would be 73 plus 14, which would be 87. Now, anything below this, anything below 44 would be an outlier. Anything above 87 would be an outlier. So if I look at anything below 44, nothing's below 44. My minimum is 56, so I know that actually there's nothing below 44. My maximum is 98. So what's above 87 is just the 98. So 98 would be an outlier. So those same 5 points are what we're going to use when we're talking about a box and whisker. When we make a box and whisker, the two minimum and maximum points create a whisker with the lines that are created with my Q1, Q2, and Q3. We're going to make a box and whisker with the St. Petersburg first. So this St. Petersburg, I'm going to put this into my L1, and I'm going to find those 5 data points. I personally always like to write down these 5 data points. So my minimum is 62, my Q1 is 66, my median 76, Q3 84, and my max is at 86. Now, when you're finding your range, it's your maximum minus your minimum. So 86 minus 62, which would be 24. Interquartile range is your Q3, 84 minus 66, which would be 18. When I'm drawing my box and whisker, you have to create your own number line. This number line has to include all the data. I'm going to start at 60. You have to make sure that these are evenly spaced. So I'm going to say that's 60, 70, so about the same length. This would be 80, about the same length, 90. I'm going to put little dash marks for my 5s. These 3 points make your box. So 66, which would be about right here, I make a line. Notice how it does not touch the number line, and I'm labeling that line. My median is 76, so I'm going to make a line here, 76. My Q3 is 84, so about right here. My minimum is 62, so about right here. I put a dot in between where that line is. My max is at 86, right here. So those create whiskers with my box, my end box. Oh, notice how my boxes got bigger. Merp. The thing that's special about box and whisker is that each one of these sections is 25% of the data. Even though this one looks more spread out, there's still 25% of the data here, 25% of the data here, 25 and 25. It does not change. I want you to try to draw a box and whisker right now for Grand Isle, Louisiana. So your box and whisker should look something like this. So here's my 5 data points. Again, Q1, median, Q3. So median is half. So if you ordered all the numbers, this is half of the data is here, half the data is here. Q1 is half of the top, Q3 is half of the bottom. Now we're talking about percentile. Percentile is basically saying, just like in a box and whisker, when we know the Q1, we know 25% is at or below that percentage. If we know the median, we know 50% is at or below. If we know 84, that means 75% is at or below 84. Those are percentiles. So 84 is the 75th percentile because 75% of the data. What if we don't have a box and whisker? First thing you want to do is order the list. This is already in order. I can show you in class of how you can order it on your calculator, so it's easier. If I'm looking for my 65th percentile, first I have to figure out how many total points I have. Total data points. And then you have to multiply that by your percent. So in this case, if you were to add these all up, I have 20 different points here. I have to multiply by 0.65. So if you do 20 times 0.65, I get 13. That is not my answer. That means I'm looking for the 13th number. So if I look through this, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 82 is my 13th number, so 82 is going to be my 65th percentile. I want you to try to find the 55th and 95th. You should have got 79 and 98. I'm adding 2 more questions here, so you should pause and write down these 2 questions. Let's see, what is the percentile rate for the score of 88? So if you know this number is 88, how many percentile of the data is at or below that number? So first I have to figure out what number in the data is 88. So 82 is my 13th, so 88 is my 14th. So this is my 14th number. You take out what the number is. take the number that data point is, so that's 14, by however many data points you have, 20. And if you do 14 divided by 20, you get 0.7, so this is the 14th or 70th percentile. I want you to try to figure out the percentile rate for 54. It's the second number out of 20, so that'd be 0.1. You move the decimal 2 times to the right to figure out your percent, so it's 10 percentile. There you have it, 11.5, analyzing data.